What is up, you guys? It is Zach, and welcome back to my channel. We just had a Nintendo Direct, and I know a lot of people have thoughts about it. A lot of people are thinking many different things, so that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. If you guys have your opinions, let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear. Did you like this Direct? Did you think it was okay, not great? Did you love it? What are your thoughts on the Direct? And before we start, I actually do want to give a quick shout out to Chris's girlfriend, AV, because she made me, where is it? This! She made me this cool EGAD painting. If you guys watched a live stream once, a couple weeks ago when Chris was here, she was doing some glass painting, and she did one for me, Professor EGAD. So it's really, really cool, and I wanted to show it off, because I don't know when else I'm going to get to show this off. So thank you again, AV, for this lovely EGAD painting. And now, we are going to talk about that Nintendo Direct and my personal opinions of it. Let's talk about, firstly, what I did like about this Direct. Not really that much, to be honest. I mean, there were some games that were announced or revealed that I did find some genuine enjoyment out of seeing. Of course, I did complain about how many RPGs and farming life sims there were in this Direct. But there were two, one from each category, that I did find some excitement in, so I guess that's worth something. And the RPG that I found some excitement in is Tales of Symphonia Remastered. I really liked Tales of Symphonia back on the Nintendo GameCube. I haven't played that game in a while, so I'll be very excited to pick it back up and play it on the Nintendo Switch. It is coming out early next year, so I'm very excited for that. It's an action RPG with a really cool story, really cool characters, and it's just lots of fun. I know, many people don't like RPGs, and I don't like RPGs either, but I do find some enjoyment out of this one. So if you want to at least try an RPG, I'd honestly recommend that one, or any of the Tales games. They're not turn-based, so it's not just looking through a bunch of menus. There's actual fighting, there's really good stories, there's a lot of depth to the gameplay, so really highly recommend Tales of Symphonia for you guys to play if you haven't done so already, and like I said, that's coming out early next year. And when it comes to the life/farming sims, I really like Harvest Moon back on the GameCube, and there's a whole big thing with Harvest Moon that I didn't really realize that, like, a company owns the rights to the name now, but, like, the original company, I guess, could still do the gameplay, because there's a game that was announced, Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, which is a remaster of the original Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, which I pointed out in the stream was so funny. I was like, how does this Story of Seasons game have, like, the exact same subtitle as, like, the original Harvest Moon on the GameCube? And it's because it's actually a remaster of that game, just under a different name, because now Harvest Moon, the name, isn't owned by them, but I guess the game is, I don't know it. I don't know the whole thing. But I do think it is really cool, and funny enough, there's a lot of rumors about a bunch of GameCube remasters, Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, and Metroid Prime, and these are both GameCube remasters, so it's really cool that I got some genuine excitement for some GameCube remasters, even if they weren't the ones everyone was expecting. Of course, there was SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. A lot of people know I'm very excited for that game. We didn't get to see too much, it's like a 30-second gameplay clip, but it actually did tell us a lot. Well, not entirely. We got to see a couple new costumes, which are really cool, and we also did learn that the game is confirmed for next year. So it's no longer a 2022 game, it's next year. Unless Nintendo misspoke, which is honestly completely possible, because Purple Lamp haven't even alluded to any sort of release date. So I do find it really, really interesting. I honestly almost want to reach out to THQ Nordic for a response on that, because I think it is important to know, if this is true, or if this means that, it's going to be like other third-party releases where the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC versions will come out first, with the Nintendo Switch coming at a later date, because we know, obviously, the Switch version of Battle for Bikini Bottom struggled when it came out at the same exact time as the other releases. So we'll have to figure that out later, closer to the time, but seeing Cosmic Shake here and seeing some new stuff from it was actually pretty cool and a big surprise for me, to be honest, and I don't even know why. It's something that you could really expect in a Nintendo Direct, but I don't know why I wasn't expecting it. Alright, those N64 games, honestly, that hyped me up. The past few months of Nintendo 64 online releases have honestly not grabbed me. I've just not really been interested in them, like Pokemon Puzzle League and stuff like that. So I was really starting to get a little burnt out with the N64, which sucks because I love the N64 and wanted some really, really good games. Well, we got the next batch, and thank goodness, they are all actually really solid titles, and I'm excited for almost all of them. Obviously, my main excitement is for Mario Parties 1, 2, and 3 making their way to the service, and I'm already talking with Tendo, Swiftjar, and Connor Condry about more Mario Party content, so for you Mario Party fans, there's definitely going to be some more stuff on the way. We're trying to figure that all out. It'll be really, really cool when all those games come out. I'll probably play those more than Superstars, to be honest, but that's a whole discussion for another video. And of course, GoldenEye. GoldenEye coming to the Nintendo Switch is freaking huge. GoldenEye was one of those games where people were like, oh, it's never coming back. It's never coming back, and it is coming back. And for the Xbox as well. It's being done completely differently on both two consoles. You can actually own the game on Xbox, and it is properly remastered with 4K visuals, dual stick controls, and etc. But the Nintendo Switch version is completely traditional, just, you know, obviously it looks a little bit better, it's up-resed a bit, and it has online. So there's real, you know, pros and cons to both of these games. And I think it's really, really exciting to see this game come back out. And, you know, especially the fact that you can get it on the Xbox. So, you know, if you have Rare Replay, you automatically have the game and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool to see this game come back. And I'm excited to see if people really appreciate it as much as it was appreciated back in the 90s, because of the fact that it was a great game back then, but it's definitely a couch co-op experience. So I wonder how much people are really going to appreciate it when you're playing online. But that's my own personal opinion. There were also some other smaller games announced that I honestly thought were pretty cool looking. There's this game called Rain Code, which was this really cool, now this, I'm guessing it's an RPG of sorts, but it's definitely different. It's, you know, it's like an RPG mixed with like Phoenix Wright. You have to see contradictions in battle, you know, you have to figure out the truth, answer questions. It's almost like Phoenix Wright in a way, and it looks really good. Apparently, it's made by the same people who made Danganronpa, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and a lot of people really like that game, so it's got a critically acclaimed team of people behind it. It looks really cool, the art style's really cool, and it just looks like a genuinely fun time, so I am actually quite excited for that game. Even if it's another kind of RPG, it looks unique and interesting enough to where it's awesome. So yeah, that's basically all that I was excited for from this Direct. Everything in this Direct that made me go, wow, this stuff looks good. Let's go to the other side of that argument and what I think didn't look that good. Alright, so obviously in that first part, I didn't mention any of Nintendo's titles that they've talked about in this Direct. So let's start from the top with Fire Emblem. Now, for me, I'm just not a Fire Emblem fan, so it's not that I think this game looks bad, or that I don't think it should exist, it's just that Fire Emblem's not my game. I'm sorry, it's just not... Just hit something, oh my god. It's just not for me, so I genuinely had no real reaction to this. I was like, oh, this is Fire Emblem. Okay, moving on. Of course, there was DLC for Xenoblade confirmed, its second wave, which is so weird because that game came out literally a month and a half ago and the second wave of DLC is already coming out. But regardless, Xenoblade DLC, again, Xenoblade, not my cup of tea, so I don't have too much to say about it. Mario Strikers Battle League. You know, I will give them an ounce of credit for the stadium, because the stadium looks kind of cool. It's like this Mario Galaxy outer space themed arena. Okay, fair enough, it looks cute. But my god, freaking Diddy Kong and Pauline as characters, another set of two characters that should have been there day one. I can't believe these characters are being treated as special. How are these characters special anymore? You know, we get Diddy Kong in every single Mario Sports game, and we have Pauline now in every single Mario Sports game on Switch. So, like, what's so special about them? Why do they have to be held back? And it's really unfortunate, and the gear is just the gear, basically as forgettable as it can get. Now, of course, we have Nintendo Switch Sports next. Now, what the heck? Golf has been delayed. I'm sorry. It's freaking golf. How hard can it be? The game's been out half a year, 6 months, and you had golf in a trailer more than 6 months ago, and golf still isn't ready for these people who paid premium price for a title that doesn't really have that much substance and meat to it. They've been waiting all these months just to hear that it's been delayed. You haven't talked about this game since Nintendo Switch Sports has been released. They haven't even mentioned this game. And now they finally mention it just to say it's delayed and don't give us anything else. They don't give us anything else about that game. We want to believe that this game is going to be getting so much content. It's going to be supported and eventually be really worth the money. But you're just pushing out golf and not saying anything else. You mentioned the survival golf mode, but I mean, kind of to be expected because there's survival bowling and all that. Like, it's to be expected. Super annoying, super frustrating. I don't even care about Switch Sports. But it's just like, why? It's freaking golf. Why does this have to be delayed? Like, I mean, I'm not even mad at the fact that it's delayed. I'm mad at the fact that they didn't say anything. We haven't heard anything for months about this. And it's supposed to be coming out in the fall, so literally it could have been in a month from now, not even. And they're like, oh, it's being pushed a holiday. Nothing else said. Like, I don't know. That just annoys me. Let's get into the Pikmin section. Alright, this Pikmin section is freaking wild. So, Miyamoto comes on. I love Miyamoto. He's a sweet man. I love him. He's adorable. But, oh my god, that Pikmin section was a train wreck. He mentioned the Mario movie and the Mario theme park. Fine, you know, whatever. Like, you can mention it. Like, that's expected. But then he went for, like, 5 minutes or something like that. Maybe not as drastic as 5, but like multiple minutes about Pikmin Bloom, which is a game that's already been out for a year. Like, why are you talking about this mobile game? Like, it's one thing if you have new updates coming to it, if there's like some big new thing coming to it, or relating to Pikmin 4, if there's some sort of connectivity between the two, where you'll really want to start playing Pikmin Bloom now, so that when Pikmin 4 comes out, you can connect the two and it'll be like, you know, you'll get some sort of advantage in Pikmin 4. But no, it had nothing to do with that. It was literally just Miyamoto showing us how to play the game. The game has been out for or maybe not over, but for about a year now, right? Like, what game came out a year ago from now? Or, it was WarioWare. Imagine if Miyamoto came out and literally gave us a tutorial on how to play WarioWare Get It Together. Which would have made sense because of how poorly that game is selling, which could make me think that Pikmin Bloom is selling even worse. Now, granted, it's actually not selling, it's a mobile game, it's free, whatever, but that leads me to believe that no one is playing Pikmin Bloom, which is why Miyamoto has to come out and promote the heck out of it, to get people to actually download it. So then, after that, he reveals Pikmin 4, the game we've known has been in development for years. So, and it's coming out next year, so they've got to have something to show off for this. Nothing. You know what this reminds me of? Animal Crossing. You know what happened with Animal Crossing? It got delayed. So honestly, I would say don't even expect Pikmin 4 next year. If it comes out next year, great. But I can say expect for it to be delayed. Go into next year thinking that Pikmin 4 will be delayed until 2024. Because they didn't show us anything. Even Miyamoto said, oh, we can't show you gameplay. Why not? If this game is coming out next year, we can expect, especially if you've been working on it for years, that it's probably, maybe not done, but at least at a showable level, right? Like, it's gotta be. So, it's just frustrating, and I'm not even a Pikmin fan, but it's gotta be frustrating when you've been teased all these years about a Pikmin game, Pikmin 4, being in development, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, here's Pikmin 4, shows you a couple scenery shots, and then a screenshot. Like, and then that's it. Like, I don't get it. It kind of reminds me of Splatoon 3's trailer, but it didn't really show much. Like, Splatoon 3's reveal trailer showed more even. So, I don't know. The Pikmin reveal was just not it. Disappointing in every way. I think what they should have done is just scrapped the Pikmin Bloom stuff entirely, and Miyamoto shouldn't have even mentioned Pikmin. Right? Because you're mentioning Pikmin, and you're building it up with this 5-minute Bloom presentations. People expect 4 to be afterwards. So then you show them a trailer that really shows nothing at all. That's setting up for disappointment. Miyamoto should have started off with the Mario movie and the Mario Park news, and then said, but here is the star attraction of why I'm here, and then shown the Pikmin trailer. It would have hurt less than what he did. My personal opinion, but that's that. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. For me, it's not that this was bad. This was just a nothing trailer for me. I'm not a Kirby fan, and Kirby has been getting so much attention. I mean, I get it, it's Kirby's 30th anniversary, but Mario and Zelda did not get anything, really. I mean, Mario got some stuff, but both of which are no longer, well, Mario 3D All-Stars is still on shelves for whatever reason, but a lot, like, Mario 35 is gone. You know, like they said, like, you know, Mario's anniversary is ending, you know, like, at the year mark. Meanwhile, Kirby gets, what, 2 new games with a new remaster on the way? Like, kind of crazy, in my personal opinion. But, nevertheless, Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe, it looks fine. It's a 2D Kirby. I mean, I know it's apparently one of the better ones, but, like, still, it's 2D Kirby. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Some of the party games look kind of cute, but, like, if I want to play party games, I'm going to play Mario Party. Like, it's just how it is. I'm sorry. So, Kirby literally did nothing for me. And then, of course, we have Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the name. I don't know, it just doesn't roll off the tongue, but that's just my personal opinion. Maybe it'll come to me more, you know, when I'm more used to the name and when the game comes out and all of that. But that trailer was also just, like, nothingness. Like, at least they introduced this one as, like, you know, they didn't build up like they did with Pikmin to make you get disappointed with how short it was. But they didn't show anything new. I mean, there was the title and the release date, but, like, we don't really see gameplay at all. You know, there's some, like, minor, I guess, story implications and some of the hieroglyphics on the wall, whatever, but, like, I don't know. With the game being, I guess, you know, a little more than 6 months out now, I expected a little more. I mean, I don't know, it just feels so weird that they're teasing this game still. After, what, 4 years now? They're teasing it still. They're like, oh, here's a little bit of Breath of the Wild 2. Okay, we're done for 6 months. Oh, here's a little more. Okay, we're done for 6 months. Like, why? Just show us something with substance. And I feel like the problem is, overall, you know, here's my main complaint about it. They focus too much on JRPGs and life/farming sims. And I know that's the common complaint. I'm not unique in this mindset. But I feel like the problem is, and actually Game Explain mentioned this on their stream, that it has to do with the Tokyo Game Show and agreements they have with other companies. For example, Square Enix, who had a very heavy presence in this Nintendo Direct. And it kind of makes you go, what was the point of this being a general Direct then? They showed basically nothing of substance. They gave some teases, there's one I completely forgot from Nintendo, Mario Kart Tour. They showed 2 courses out of the pack that's not coming out for another 2 months. That, you just know, is one of those things they just kind of threw in there. Why would you tease part of your DLC? It would be like if they, like, announced, like, the Smash Fighter in one of the Smash packs, but didn't say what the stage was, didn't reveal the music, didn't reveal the Mii costumes, just the fighter, and like, oh, you have to wait to find out the rest. Like, it just makes no sense. Why would you show 2 tracks off early, especially when Nintendo probably know that list got data mined. So all you're doing is confirming the rest of the courses because the 2 courses you've shown off correspond with the data mined list. Nintendo, you're just insane. So everything Nintendo announced, maybe except for Fire Emblem, is just kind of thrown in there. And I guess Kirby as well. As Fire Emblem and Kirby, all of Nintendo's other announcements just were like half slapped together and thrown into the Direct just to make it a general Direct. Because I'm sure if they announced it was a partner showcase, because a lot of the big titles were third party, they know it wouldn't have gone over well. They know that no one would turn up for another partner showcase, because they learned that in 2020 when people just stopped caring for the partner showcases. So, it's hard. Like, they're probably doing this to fulfill contracts and just throwing some of their stuff in there to just give us some news. And I guess that's good, because we learned some new stuff. Fire Emblem's coming out in January, I'm pretty certain. Kirby in February. Legend of Zelda in May. Like, we're learning a little bit more about 2023. Funny enough, I don't think we know about March or April yet, so there's still some slots to fill there. But nonetheless, I still find it a tad bit annoying that they just did this just to do it. Like, Nintendo Directs are supposed to have meaning. Nintendo Directs are supposed to be these events that Nintendo fans love and reminds people why Nintendo fans are Nintendo fans. And this Direct just wasn't it. It didn't feel like it had any love or care thrown into it. You know, a 5-minute promotion for Pikmin Bloom should show that much, you know, altogether. Some of the editing was even really choppy. The transition between games really felt like they were just finishing a sentence, all of a sudden, oh, here's a new game. Like, there was no transition at all for, like, some of the Direct. It was very weird. So, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a bad Direct. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it was the worst Direct ever. It wasn't. We got a new Fire Emblem. We got a new Kirby game. Well, new Kirby game. We learned about Breath of the Wild 2's name and release date. You know, we got a lot. But it just didn't feel like a good, genuine Nintendo Direct. It just didn't. But that's my own personal opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you all have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff down below. Hit that notification bell so that you're notified of when I upload videos. And check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there for you to check out. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next video.